So last season, about halfway through, I ended up blowing up my R154 transmission at one of the drift events. I was going pretty slow and in third gear, and I gave it a big clutch kick. Boom! It wouldn't stay in third gear. Everything was sounding pretty bad. There was a lot of golden colored glitter in the oil. So what I'm thinking is maybe the synchro blew up or something, but I ended up getting my replacement transmission driven to the event, replaced it in the parking lot, drifted on that one for the rest of the season, all good to go. But this one right here has been sitting in the corner of the garage, not getting any love. But I got a rebuild kit online, got a press, got some gasket maker. So let's tear this thing apart, see what's wrong, hopefully rebuild it. So I got the front and rear casing off, and this is what we're looking at. I mean, I don't really see anything obvious that's wrong with it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but all the gears seem to be in decent shape. I don't know, perhaps one of the synchros are damaged on the inside. So I think I found my issue. So I've taken the main shaft out of the intermediate housing and got the input shaft off of the rest of it. Here's the input shaft right here, it just sits just like that on the shaft. But as I was taking it apart, I noticed, hang on, let me get that input shaft off real quick. I noticed that my synchro was looking kind of weird. So this is the one that came off of it, and you can see it's got that weird like wear mark. It's on all three of the little indents. And this is what the synchro looks like that I'm putting in there. It's not a new one, but it came out of a trans without any grinding or shifting issues. And you can see that it's, you know, pretty squared off. So I'm thinking that's what the issue was. I already took the transmission apart up to this point. So I took that main gear off, and the thrust washer that commonly explodes is in there, and it seemed okay. All the other synchros seem okay. You know, none of the teeth are chipped or anything. So I'm hoping that that was the issue. So I'm just going to go ahead and slap a new synchro on there and put it back together, throw it in the car, see what happens. So here's a bit of an update. The transmission is essentially all put back together. Just need to put on the casings and the shifter. But I have to tell you, these shift rods and shift forks are a pain. There are so many of these little balls. Like there's a little ball in here, little ball down here, little ball at the end of these, little ball between these rods, and what they do is they fit into these little slots. You kind of see a little bit of that slot right there, but they pop into those little slots, and that kind of gives you that you know, locked into place shift feel, I think. But I mean, there's so many of them. There's two that look like big Tic Tacs, and it's almost like those little puzzles where you have to like hold everything together and put all the pieces in at once, otherwise it doesn't go. I mean, that's essentially what this was, but I believe it's all back together correctly. And yeah, like I said, just got to put on the front and rear casing, get the shifter on, and it should be ready to go. So here we have everything put back together. I apologize for not documenting it a little bit better, but this has kind of taken me like a week to do. In the middle of the project, I got like really sick and I was in bed for a few days. So when I finally got back to it, I just wanted to put it all back together, get it over with. But it seems pretty good right now. Got my shifter on it. Goes in all the gears. First, second, third, fourth. Got a step on it for fifth because the spring is a little stronger to bump it that way. But fifth and reverse. All good. So I'm probably going to be putting that transmission into the drift car here probably in the next few days, just to double check, make sure everything works. It goes through all the gears, the input and output shafts spin correctly, but it's always good to double check, make sure for sure that everything works properly. As of right now, if you have any questions about rebuilding R154s, type out a comment, let me know, and I'll do my best to help you out. Who knows how long this information will be fresh on my mind, so you gotta act quick. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. I know it wasn't the most in-depth walkthrough of rebuilding an R-Box, but if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, come out with new videos pretty frequently, and as always, thanks for watching.